I'm gonna show you guys how to create an e-commerce money printer. If you're an e-com, you're drop shipping, you have a brand, you're selling products, you do Amazon FBA, you're spending money on advertising, you're spending money on product, you're quite literally burning 5 to 6 figures a year by having the wrong strategy, the wrong credit cards, and not understanding the value of those cards and how to utilize them. So in this video, I'm gonna drop some insane gems completely free that you can take advantage of. And as always, I'm gonna talk about business credit and business funding, because as we know, in e-commerce, capital is king. When you have more capital, you can spend more on advertising, you can purchase more product, you can get better margins, you can get better deals, you can then buy new products and test new products. There's so many moving parts when it comes to e-commerce that capital is king, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to utilize it the right way with the right strategy. Stick to the end of the video, and as always, if you got value out of the video, hit my link down below if you want a strategy session directly for you and your business, or if you're looking for extra capital for your business and you want to see if you're a right fit to be able to access that capital and make sure you have the right strategy and the right information to get the best limits and the best banks, then book my link down below. We can see if it's a good fit for us to work together. But let's dive in to the first card that we're going to talk about. So the first card I'm going to talk about is the American Express Gold card. This is the business card. Now, many of you are probably already using this card or have heard, hey, you should get this. And the reason being is it's 4x points on advertising spend, or 4x points on your top 2 categories. The reason why a lot of people get the American Express Gold card is because it is a charge card, meaning American Express doesn't necessarily give you a limit, but they'll increase your limit over time the more that you spend with the card. So it allows people to scale their advertising to a certain extent by not having to be stuck behind a credit limit. And of course, American Express is one of the best travel partner systems, which allows you to transfer points if you aren't already doing it, where you can get tons of value. So if you hit the threshold though, you can only spend 150K per year. You can spend more than that, but you only get the 4x back on up to 150K. So the problem with the Amex Gold card, if you're a points junkie like myself, is you can only get 600,000 points per year just off of that card. Now, there are ways where you can continue to get 4x back, but that is directly kind of for my partners and the people that I work with on how you can actually do that. But it is a great value card in terms of points, which you can take out for cash back if you want, or you can utilize a lot of the travel strategies I talk on this channel about how to get way more value, which I'll talk about a little bit later in the video. So if we take a little bit deeper look at the Amex Business Gold card, the reason why you also want it to be a business card is you don't want to put high spend on personal cards, because it will drastically affect your credit score. It'll affect your utilization, which will stop and hurt you from actually accessing more capital with the banks when you need it. But really, this is what we're looking at here. 4x points on the top 2 eligible categories. Those categories are media providers, advertising, media online, US purchases for electronic goods retailers, software subscriptions, business dinners like restaurants, which is a huge deal, gas if you're traveling a lot as well, transit purchases. These categories are top tier when it comes to earning, especially at a 4x clip. Now, the other stuff isn't going to be that advantageous, but it comes at a pretty good annual fee compared to some of the other cards that we're going to talk about. But $375 to be able to get 4x back, 600,000 points, which is a ton of freaking value when it comes to traveling and transferring points. The Amex Gold card is going to be the first one we're talking about because it is one that is very common, that a lot of people jump into. And if you want to know some secrets with American Express, I have some videos talking about that, but you should create a personal relationship with American Express first, because once you create a personal relationship with American Express, they will then not hard pull you for any future applications, whether that be other personal cards or business cards. And one of the cards that I'm actually going to recommend as well is another American Express card, because it has some good value there. So that's going to be it for the first one. The second one is a recently new card, which is the Sapphire Reserve Business Card. Now, how is this changing the game when it comes to advertising spend? What to know about is, first of all, it has a absolutely great sign-up bonus right now because it is a newer card. 200,000 points is insane. For 6 months, it's not 3 months or 4 months, it's 6 months of 30K in spend to hit that sign-up bonus, hit the sign-up bonuses. But how it's changing the game is this 3x points on social media and search engine advertising. Now you might be in, well, that's 3x, it's not 4x like the Amex Gold. Well, that 3x multiplier is not capped, at least for now. So Chase is not capping that, meaning you could spend $500,000 a year and get 3x back, which means 1.5 million points in your pocket. Now, I like using Chase for hotels like Hyatt because I can get insane value out of hotel stays, then an Amex for airlines, you can use them both for that, but Chase also has an insane travel network where you can transfer your points. This is why I am a points junkie. I'm not a huge cashback guy, but if you guys wait to the end, I'm going to tell you guys an insane way to get cash back that is way better than your typical 2 or 3% cashback cards. Now, one downside that people may be talking about and can kind of restrict them is the fact that the Reserve business card and almost all Chase cards, they aren't charge cards. They put a credit limit on the card, so then you're capped at that amount of spend per month. But if we come over to the Chase website and look at all of their other business credit cards, there are some strategies where you can get higher limits with Chase cards. And this is why it's very important to possibly work with a funding partner for capital like myself or someone else, because you can apply to multiple other business cards. And if you want to add more spend to that card, there is a strategy where we can move some of those limits over to that Reserve business card. Also, the other business credit cards with Chase, they are very well known for getting high limits. If you have a relationship with them, you should for sure have a business checking relationship with them before applying, because it's going to be way more advantageous for you to get a higher limit in general. But they also have multiple cards that are 0% for 12 months, which allows you to take more risk, to spend more on advertising, to try new things when you have 0% on a business credit card, because you are only required to pay 1% of that per month if you need to. If you're at a net 30, net 60, net 90 type of terms, that's super advantageous, where the charge cards or the cards that are not 0%, you're required to pay them back in full every single month. So if you're dealing with shipping stuff or tariff stuff or other things, as we know, e-commerce can be all over the place when things are arriving at the wrong times or taking too long with suppliers. This is a huge advantage. And you can get 50, 60, 70K limits on these cards when you work with a relationship manager, with someone like myself who has those connections, to be able to get approved for higher limits such as those. Now, those 0% cards don't have the greatest earning capability in terms of spending on advertising or product, but there is one like the Ink Business Preferred. That's not a 0% card, but they usually do give some good limits. They have a good sign-up bonus of 90 to 100K, and you can earn 3x points on shipping and advertising as well, which is another value add. But I'll put that as like an audible type of card where, you know, it might make sense for some people's strategy when it comes down to adding some Chase cards. But for now, the new Chase Reserve Business Card is a game changer because it does not have capped amount of spend. So you can earn 3x all throughout the year. There's tons of great advantages, especially access to Chase lounges, which are insanely nice, even though there's not that many locations in the US right now. It's a really, really good card to have. And Chase is definitely a great bank in terms of funding and capital that you need to build a relationship with. And especially if you're spending a lot, you are going to get rewarded when you work with them. Now, the third card that's going to give you a ton of value is going to be the American Express Business Plus card. Now, why is this good? Because it's going to give you 2x points on all purchases, not just advertising, but all purchases up to 50K a year. So that's up to 100,000 extra points, which can get you a $5,000, $10,000 business class flight when we transfer our points, 1x on all of the purchases. But the great thing about this is the 2x. But the second thing is, which is why I mentioned why you want to build a relationship with American Express on the personal side, because if you grow those limits on the personal side, you're actually allowed to, with Amex, to transfer some of your limits on the personal side over to this business card. So if you get approved for 20K on this card and you have a 30K Hilton Honors card, for example, you could transfer 20K of that over. Now you have 40K at 0%, which is huge on the business side. There are a lot of good and great internal rules with American Express that you can take advantage of, but the 2x is a great multiplier because it works for any type of spend, and you can transfer limits and increase those limits of spend for any other areas of your business that you're spending on. So this is how we get even more value by implementing the right cards into our business. Now, a lot of people, they love to go to Capital One. Capital One is very well marketed. They have a 2% cashback. If you're a cashback junkie, I'm going to tell you that it's not a good option unless you've already built out your personal credit profile and you've already built out your business credit profile, because they're going to pull all three bureaus. But the problem with the Capital One Spark Business Card, which is a flat 2% back, is every $25,000 that you spend is only $500 back in your pocket. $500. If you're spending $25K a month, you really want to focus on the extra 0.5% or 1% for the $500 cash back. And the problem with this card is it reports to your personal credit. It reports to your personal credit. So if you have high utilization on this card, it's going to affect your personal credit score, especially if you don't have high limits on the personal side. It's going to drop your score, which is then going to jeopardize your ability to get more capital and funding on the business side. If your utilization is high, it's going to crank your personal score down. And you lose one of the biggest benefits and leverage points of business credit card, which is keeping your debt or your business spend off of your personal credit report. Because if you guys didn't know, business cards, they don't report to your personal credit. So it doesn't affect your utilization. It doesn't affect your ability to get a mortgage, a car loan, installment loans, or other types of lending products because they're pulling your personal credit. So I don't recommend the Capital One. It's very popular because people love the 2% cash back. But when you look at it, 2% cash back or 3% cash back, it's less than $1,000 every 25K in spend. And we can get way more value by utilizing our points, checking out the videos on this channel, and understanding how to use them for free travel, hotels, flights, business class, first class, all over the world. And so when I talk about getting more value out of our points, I'm talking about transfer systems. All of these banks right here are a part of a transfer system, meaning you can transfer the points that you earn with them to travel partners. And travel partners allow us to, let's say, book a Qatar flight, a Japan Airlines flight, a Cathay Pacific flight. All of these international carriers that have $5,000, $10,000 business class flights, first class flights, or even first class flights in America get us way more value. I literally have a video where I walk through a trip, this one right here, that was $10,000 and it cost me, guess how many points? 80,000 points, 80,000 points. That's like $800 if I would have cashed that out in cash, but I got a $10,000 trip flying business class for a $6,000 flight, staying in a $1,500 a night suite for a couple of nights. And I got $10,000 worth of travel just off 8,000 points or 80,000 points. So when you use it this way, when you check out any of these videos on the channel and you understand that an average redemption, when you learn how to transfer your points that you're earning off of your spend in your business and put the right cards in place, 3 to 5x the value is an average redemption. You're stuck with a 1 to 3% cash back. Transferring the points to partners is like getting 300 to 500% back. So that's why having these points cards can be so advantageous, and utilizing the right way, it can be amazing. But if you are someone who loves cash back, I'm going to bless you with an insane way to be able to get way more value out of your cash back, over 5.5% when it comes to cash back. So let's talk about it. So how do we get more cash back? If you're used to using 2 or 3% cash back cards, this is for utilizing Amex. So let's say you want to utilize Amex to get 5.5% cash back. Well, they're giving me points. They're not giving us cash back. Well, let's talk about that, because you can actually sell your points back to Amex, take cash. We're usually just settling for a 1 to 2% back, leaving multiple 4 to 5 figures on the table every single year, depending on how much you're spending. So if you're running a business right now, you're spending $20K a month on ads, shipping, software, product, here's the strategy where you can get more cash back if you're a cashback junkie. So Amex has the 4x multiplier, right? So the Amex Gold earns 4x points on your top 2 categories, ads, shipping, software each month. So if you apply that up to 150K a year, which is the cap, that's 600,000 points. Now, if you stack that with the sign-up bonus or the welcome offer, which if you have a relationship with them, you're targeted for 175 up to 200K on that welcome offer, that's another 175,000 points. So we're looking at 775 to 800,000 points in that first year you get the card if you're spending 20K a month, right? Now, some people will convert their points to cash. Now, you're not going to get the best value if you just convert them with Amex. The way that you can get way better value from converting them is actually, let's break this down here. We can get a market rate of 1.1 cents per point. Now, how do we do that? Well, the way we do that is by actually using the Charles Schwab Platinum card, which allows you to redeem those points for 1.1 cents per point. If you have no bonus, but I'm going to take a guess, if you're spending that money, you're going to hit the sign-up bonus, you're going to get 5.9% back with the sign-up bonus of 775,000 points at a 1.1 cent per ratio. And so the Charles Schwab, the reason why you can redeem it with them is, yes, you must have the Amex Platinum Charles Schwab card. A lot of people get the Platinum, right, because it's a shiny metal card, but it's a terrible points earning card. It's purely a status card that gives you access to lounges, but it's not good to actually spend in your business, even though it's a charge card, because you're only earning 1x points instead of 4x with the gold card. The way you're able to redeem this is by having a Charles Schwab brokerage account linked to your Amex login or your Amex account, and then you can typically transfer that at the 1.1 cents per point over to your Charles Schwab account. So you can take that and then earn even more back off investing it in your Charles Schwab account. Now, doing this isn't going to affect your earnings with the Amex Biz Gold card. It just gives you an exit route to get a better value out of cashing out your points. So you'll set up that login with Charles Schwab. You'll be able to cash out your points at 1.1 cents per point to get more value than the typical 0.7 or 0.8 that you would do in the portal itself. And so if we look at the numbers a little bit deeper here, at 175,000 points or 775,000 points at the 5.94% rate, you're able to cash out $9,000 at 150K plus in spend with those bonus points. If you want to do that, you can do that. But even then, if you have 800,000 points, and you use them for travel, that could be 3, 4, 6 business class flights across the pond, anywhere in the freaking world. That is quite literally going to cost 4 times the price of what you're cashing out at $9,000. Those are $5,000, $6,000 seats. And so in this case, you're banking tens of thousands, 4 figures, 5 figures of cash back by just utilizing this exit route with the Charles Schwab. Now, yes, like I said, there are ways, I'm going to keep it off this specific video, that you can get 4x points continuous after 150K in spend. But this is a great point if you're someone that loves cash back and you want to utilize that. So my gems for the cards that you can utilize to get way more value. Start thinking about how you can utilize the points for more value instead of cash back. If you love cash back, maybe go this route and improve your margins, invest that and make more money back. And I believe it's not even taxable because it's not considered income. It's not a taxable event because it is a redemption. And these are great ways. Now, I like to use Chase for Hyatt hotels so I can stay in amazing hotels across the world at incredible rates, which are better than Marriott and Hilton. And I can also use that with any of the travel partners with flights and airlines with Chase as well. But if you want to be smart and you're spending a lot more than 20K, put half that spend on the Amex card so you're getting Amex points on either of the Amex cards, use those for flights and airlines, and then half the spend on the Chase card so you can use those for hotels and essentially travel for free, get tens of thousands of dollars in travel. Just like I said, I had a $10,000 trip that cost me 80,000 points. So look at the value you can get out of that, which is insane. Keep checking out the videos that I have on here. But that's the game. Those are the gems that I'm blessing you guys with. If you're in e-commerce, if you are spending money in that industry and you want to access more capital, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you have a brand, super advantageous to put together this strategy and what works for you. And if that's you as well, and you want to be able to access more capital to grow, scale, and market your business, then reach out to me. We can schedule a strategy session, see if we can hook you up with the capital that you're looking for, develop a strategy that works for you, your business, and your expenses, and improve those profit margins, improve your business, and keep things rocking. So as always, guys, appreciate you for showing up on the channel. Hit like, hit subscribe, drop your comments down below. If you got value out of the video, which I know you did, hit subscribe. So we'll see you guys on the next one. I appreciate you. Peace.